Hey folks, welcome to WTF Mortgage. Look, I don't ask for people to subscribe to the channel on this channel here, and I don't ask for a thumbs up. I would like to ask for something now. I'd like to ask you to please try to watch this entire video because I want it to mean something. I'm really trying to teach you how this stuff works. I'm trying to educate as many consumers as possible, and if you don't watch the entire thing, you're going to miss something, even if you have a lower interest rate than what you're going to see here. Because one day, who knows, you might have to move. You might sell the home. You're going to have to get a new home, and that 2.75 or 3 something percent rate you have right now, that's not going to be existent for a hell of a long time. So please hang in there no matter what. My goal is not to show you wonderful rates. My goal is to show you how this stuff works so you could take it to these lenders and banks and stuff who might try to mislead you. All right, let's jump right into it. Okay, here we are. I'm going to spend about 2 minutes talking about the advertised rate, APR, and fee relationship, and then about another 2 minutes talking about disclosures, and a final minute and a half talking about the rating system. So you have the advertised rate right here, advertised rate, the APR, and the fees associated with each one. Now the APR is an indicator of fees associated with the advertised rate. In other words, the APR lets you know if there are fees associated with an advertised rate and roughly how much. How does it do that? Well, the higher the APR is above the advertised rate indicates more and more fees associated with that rate. So you see here 5.75 and 6.087. This is a large spread in terms of how APRs go. And this large spread is reflected in the fees. You see 12,474 in fees compared to, if you come down here, the 7.25 and the 6.999 rates, the APR is the same. And you can see that reflected in the fees. There are not only no fees, but there are credits going to the customer there. So that's the APR relationship. You're going to use that when you're out there shopping and going around, because lenders are not required to show you fees. Don't have to show you fees. But if we show a rate, we have to show you the APR. Now, I do understand a lot of lenders, like 90% of them, don't even show the interest rate, which is pretty chicken shit in my opinion. But for the ones that do, they have to disclose the APR. Now you know how that works. Also, be aware of fees that are not included in the APR. Like you see here, the above fee estimates do not include appraisal, title, and escrow fees. Well, depending on the loan size, appraisal, title, and escrow fees could add anywhere between $1,100 to maybe even $1,900 on top of these fees there. So be aware of that. Okay, next let's jump into disclosures here. Now, when you're looking on the internet, I mentioned this in a number of videos on the internet, because that's where most people are shopping for loans right now. If they show interest rates, they must show the APR, like I said, and they must show the disclosures. The disclosures show the factors that pricing is based on. So what a lot of companies will do, they'll put a little disclosures tab. I showed this in the previous interest rates video that's in this playlist. And you look for that disclosures tab. Sometimes it's a little bit hidden, and you click on that, and then they'll show you. And then a lot of times they'll put a bunch of legal jargon and make it some confusing shit. I require plain English disclosures. None of this crap, so you can clearly see what the interest rates are based on. These are important because if you don't meet this criteria, you're going to have different pricing. You can still get the same rate that you see here, but it's going to cost more. Like, for example, if you don't have a 740 credit score, if you have a 680 score, which is respectable, but you're not going to get the same pricing. Say, for example, your 6.75 rate, you can still get that with a 680 score, but it's not going to be 25.27 in fees. It's going to cost more. Same thing goes with the loan amount, the value, etc. So that's why disclosures are important. Don't just look at a rate and get all happy. Look to see what the disclosures are. Okay, so that's disclosures. Now let's finish up here with my little pricing, my WTF pricing scale I made up here. So you can see it's RATE, rate, to help you remember it. All right, so this what I'm using here, this is a United Real Estate Capital's pricing. Now I'm using United Real Estate Capital's pricing because, of course, I have an interest in the company. I know all the inner workings and the fees and stuff, and I can post that because a lot of places keep that kind of stuff hidden. So I'm showing you that type of stuff so you can learn from this. So I'm using United Real Estate Capital's pricing as a benchmark. The other reason is because if you know my pricing, then you have an idea of how everybody is pricing because we're not that far off. And that's what this rating system is based on. So the R, really aggressive. If you find a place that's showing better pricing than this pricing that you see here, that's really aggressive pricing. So one of two things. It's either like, say, a small lender, because you won't find many of the big lenders doing anything like that. Small aggressive lender aggressively pricing, bam, that's a hell of a deal. That's really aggressive. Now, keep in mind, that also could be a bullshit advertisement. So be aware. If you see something more aggressive, better than this, it's either a hell of a deal or they're bullshitting you. Next here, a great deal. This is when you got a deal on things, a good pricing. This is what I rate United Real Estate Capital's pricing as a great deal. You got something, you find something at another place that's equal with this, you got yourself a great deal. Then this one, that's a fair deal. And I really mean that. If you find pricing that's a little bit higher, like say 900 bucks, 1500 bucks higher, that's really nothing. I mean, I know it's something to you. I apologize. I'm not taking your money lightly, but that's in the big picture, that's really nothing. That's still a fair deal on there. Okay. And then finally, if you find something that's a lot higher, it's not a fair deal. It's considerably higher, which you'll see that out there, then tell them to eat shit. So that's the rating system there. All right, so that's it for with respect for your time. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible, put as much relevant information in there. Thank you so much for hanging in there. I'm going to post this on a playlist. Keep checking these because you'll be, as you track these, you're going to notice the pricing changing over the next days, over the next weeks. You're going to see the pricing changing. So if you're out there shopping, whether you're looking to purchase a home or you have a rate you're looking to refinance or you might be selling, you want to be in the know. You want to have an idea of what's going on ahead of time. I always tell people the time to shop for a rate is when you don't need one. So you want to be in the know. So when the excellent pricing does come, you know how to wreck it. You've already been tracking it, you know. So watch this over the next weeks. You're going to watch this pricing get lower and lower and lower. And as it gets lower, I will adjust the band of rates being advertised. Like eventually this year, this is going to be the lowest rate will say be 4.75 and the highest one will be like 6.75. So keep an eye on this as you watch this pricing because I'm going to keep posting these same rates up here so you can easily follow what's going on. All right, so take care. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next one.